Hi everyone, I'm Asmara and welcome back to the channel. So today I am doing a little video to wrap up Women's History Month. I started off this month doing that interview with Kia, which I really loved. I made this little canvas. It says history in the making. I did a couple of streams, finishing this up. One of the streams got like blocked worldwide for copyright, which is real unfortunate, but the other one is still on my channel. But yeah. She's real cute. I'm probably also gonna make a TikTok out of this. So to wrap up Women's History Month, I thought it'd be interesting to sit down here and just talk about some women here on YouTube or just in content creation that inspire me. Earlier this month, I actually got recognized by Omen. I've been doing some work with them. I've partnered with them recently and been making some different content for them, but they recognized me for their Women's History Month campaign, which I love. Check out this little TikTok video and like photos they put also on Instagram and Twitter. The artist is such a beautiful job illustrating me. I shared that on Twitter, but if you don't follow me on Twitter, you may not have seen that. But I wanted to talk about some women in content creation that inspire me, and so that's what we're doing today. This list is in no particular order. So the first creator I want to talk about, her name is Steph Co. She makes content on YouTube and she is a commentary channel. So she makes things like commentary videos about pop culture. She makes story times about her life. Her channel kind of blew up over this past year over a video she did about pretty privilege, but she talks about, an array of different things on her channel. And a lot of her content has a common thread about discussing the things in life that nobody really talks about and just kind of bringing light to the not so glamorous experiences. That's the type of content that I'm really drawn to. I like when people talk about those who were left behind. I just find her content a really refreshing space in a industry, YouTube, where people try to make content perfect and kind of show a perfect life. I really like how her content is really, it feels honest, it feels real. And even if she's talking about hard things, that authenticity piece is what I really connect to. And I think the biggest thing that I have taken away from Steph Co. is idea of life not being a linear path. And I really like how she's very open about how her life did not pan out the way that she wanted it to or expected to. She in many ways was quote unquote late, compared to other people around her age and what her life looks like, right now. And I don't want this to sound like depressing or she's like not happy with her life or anything like that, but like, I think what I've learned from her content is that there really is no such thing as being late, and it's okay if your life does not look like how society maybe expects it to look like at a certain age, because at the end of the day, we are all on our own life path. Something could happen that could change the course or the trajectory of your life, and it's okay to not measure up how quote unquote well you're doing based on other people. Like she's saying, a lot of the things that she's experiencing in her 30s is what people should have experienced in their 20s, quote unquote. I keep saying that because I feel like that sort of language, like should have, being late, being a late bloomer, that type of language, I feel like perpetuates an idea of comparison, because you can only be late if you're comparing yourself to somebody else who was early or on time, And so I'm trying to understand better through her content that everybody's on their own life path, and it's okay if it's not the way that you expected. It's okay if you aren't doing maybe what your peers are doing, and it's okay to bloom in your own time. You're not late, you are right on time for you, okay? This is just the way that your life has unfolded, and there's nothing wrong with that. Another creator who's inspired me is Cub Quake. So she has been creating content for years. I believe her channel is like a decade old, something like that, which is like, an eternity in internet time. But I've been following her for a long time, probably like the past 7 years, maybe going on 8. I first started following her when I was around 12 or 13, which, for starters, there are few creators I can name, literally I could list on my hands, the creators who I still follow, that I've been following for that long, like since I was beginning my teenage years. So there are a few creators that I've like grown with in that way, and Cub Quake is definitely one of them. So I really love her content because I think she's mainly known for gaming. And I originally found her, like many people, from her Minecraft Oasis series back in like 2013, 2014. That series went on for so long. But what made me stick to her channel and what made me really love and grow kind of with her and her content is that I really love the fact that she's also an artist, and she is a multi-passionate, multifaceted creative. So I love the fact that she shares her artwork on her YouTube channel, her various channels on TikTok and Instagram. I love the fact that she's also into fashion, and she shares that on like her personal YouTube channel as well as on her TikTok, her Instagram. And she's actually currently pregnant right now, so a lot of her content has been like pregnancy related, which is really cute. But for me, growing up, like when I was, again, like an early teenager, a young teenager, I didn't really have representation of people who played games that didn't all come in like a same or similar package. A lot of my friends growing up were more tomboy-ish, and so I never really saw a representation of people who also like to express their more feminine, girly side as well as gaming. And then of course, her being an artist and also me being a creative. Way before I started doing video, I used to write stories, creating art, or I love to redesign my room. I would always have like different decorations on the wall. I'd always do different DIYs. Like, I've always been a creative. And so seeing someone who was also a multi-passionate creative, who was into gaming and who loved art, who loved personal style and DIY and crafts, that was definitely a very powerful representation for me, again, as a young teenager, because I didn't have that representation in real life. And so Cub Quake, I definitely quickly attached to her content. She recently had a series where she tries different crafts or DIY or art projects, and I really love those. That's definitely one of my favorite series she's done. I've always loved when she's creative, or when she does her cosplays, or when she uses her different interests and creates something out of them. It was kind of cool for me to see someone who's taken their YouTube channel and also made it like a small business. That's another one of those reasons I was attracted to her content, is because it kind of showed me it's possible to build and monetize from your creative passions. And I didn't really touch much on her impact on me through the gaming side as well, but that also had an equally important impact. There is so many games that I discovered from her channel. She's one of like the first few variety gamers I ever started following. And so like games, even like The Sims, I learned from her channel. A ton of other, random games that were popular and trendy throughout, the early 2010s, mid 2010s. A lot of those games I discovered from her channel. So she has equally inspired me, not only as an artist and a creative, but also as a gamer. And she's expanded my knowledge on different games that I know and love. Life is Strange also being another one of them. Her Let's Play of that game was the first one I ever watched, and y'all know I love that franchise. But Tiffany, Cub Quake, she has inspired me in a plethora of different ways throughout the years. Another creator I want to talk about is Lil Simsy. So if you are part of the Sims community, you know Lil Simsy. She, is one of the big faces of, Sims 4 content now. But I first started following Kayla when she was in high school, and I was in high school as well. And I used to listen to her Speed Build Sunday series and her Fixer Upper series, like a podcast. She basically had the series where she renovated Sims houses, and in her voiceover, she would like never talk about the build. It was kind of like an ongoing meme. She would oftentimes just tell like random stories from her life or from school. And I really resonated with her, just sort of being vulnerable, talking about her struggles even with anxiety, and her being sort of a quiet, shy person and using content creation to sort of help her come out of her shell. That was something that was really powerful for me, watching her grow over the years. I just remember in high school really finding it comforting to just have a regular teen girl just talk about regular everyday life stories and share, you know, everyday struggles. The other teenage content creators that I watched only really showed, you know, the highlights. This is more specifically talking about vlogging teenage creators that I watched. They only really showed the highlights, the fun parts, them hanging out with friends, the stuff that's interesting to watch as a video. But what I really got from Lil Simsy was she was like kind of the first sort of teenage, younger creator that I watched that really just talked about everyday life, and a lot of her experiences in high school and in middle school that she shared were a lot of things that I could personally resonate with and were more reflective of my life. Being someone who was quiet, shy, didn't really have friends, and was just sort of in the shadows. Her experience is definitely something that I resonated with. It was like the first time I saw somebody on the internet talk about an experience that I could relate to, and feeling like it was okay to be like that too. Like, it's okay to be me. And that's kind of like with all of these creators that I'm talking about in this video. They've all kind of shown me in one way or another that it's just okay to be who I am, and the different parts of me are valid and can all exist simultaneously. All right, and the last creator I'm going to talk about, her name is Hayley. She since have like privated her channel because she, you know, went on to other endeavors, which is completely fine. So I just want to share this story because she's a creator who had an impact on my life, and maybe if some of you guys were around, you might remember her. But her name is Hayley. Her former username was Princess, and she made like Sims 4 create a sim videos. She would do speed builds. She also did Minecraft role plays, and her content eventually also expanded to doing art and sort of more lifestyle type content. She had a bullet journaling Instagram for a while. So Hayley was either the first Black girl I started following in the gaming space, or she was one of the first. I remember seeing a video with her in the thumbnail, and I like got so excited seeing a Black girl content creator who also was interested in Sims. It was like a CC shopping video she was doing for Sims 4. And this was around the time I started, you know, going out of my way to intentionally find diverse creators. And when I realized that representation really is important and does matter. So I found her, and I fell in love with her content. Obviously, I don't just follow people just because they're Black, but that is definitely a enticing factor. It's like a contributing factor to me checking out their content. And so, like I said, she was interested in a lot of the things that I was also interested in. So it was powerful, again, for me to see a Black girl with similar interests to me just taking up her little space in her little corner of the internet. I started watching gaming content in like 2013. I found her channel around 2017-ish. And so again, it was just powerful to have that representation for me. So those are some women who create content that have inspired me that I just wanted to share. All these women, simply by being themselves, have definitely shown me that it is okay to take up space sort of as I am in this content creation space, and there is a room for me. You know, there's room for people like us, and our voices are definitely necessary. Even if you don't think you necessarily have something super extravagant to share about your life, being who you are, your voice is definitely needed because there's someone out there who can relate to that. By seeing that representation, that oftentimes passes along courage for them to be who they are. So that is what these content creators have done for me. And I just wanted to sit here and talk about them for a little bit. But I would love to know in a comment below, who is a content creator, a woman in content creation, who inspires you. They can be on YouTube, they can be, you know, on Twitch, they can be on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. I would love to know. And they don't have to be gaming creators as well. They can be just anybody who inspires you. So yeah, I just wanted to put up this little video real fast to wrap up Women's History Month, but I want to give a brief moment to shout out my channel members who are very generous in supporting me as a content creator. I recently commissioned some new emotes, and here are them. They're super cute. If any of you guys are interested in becoming a channel member, the first tier starts at 99 cents a month. So if you want to try it out for a month, there's information in the description down below. Yeah, I just want to give a brief shout out to my channel members because you support the content that you love to see, and so I'm very grateful for y'all. Let's continue learning and growing together, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.